Just found out my best friend has been secretly dating my ex for months. Cassie and I were together for 5 years. We started dating in high school and stayed together through college, moved in together after graduation. I've been in love with her since before our first date. She's amazing. I still think so. We were talking about marriage and starting a family soon. Then one day a few months ago, Cassie wanted to talk, sat me down, and said she decided she doesn't want kids. She didn't just mean not now, but not ever. She talked a lot about overpopulation or climate change or whatever, but I was just immediately depressed. I've always wanted to be a dad. My dad was a piece of work, and this is something I've wanted to do ever since I was still a kid myself. When she finished talking, I told her it was over. She started crying and I was already crying, but heck, if she doesn't want the same thing I do from the future, what else can I do? She said she's been thinking this way for years and Corona was the last straw. I'm not going to wait around and hope she changes her mind when she might not. So I moved out and moved in with my best friend, Ryan. We've been friends forever, like we bonded over Pokemon cards at the playground kind of thing. He's basically my brother and his mum was my extra mum since I didn't have much at home growing up. I was in a hurry to move out, so I didn't take much stuff with me, and then I didn't want to go back to the apartment and see Cassie, so Ryan was doing the good friend thing and going to get stuff for me whenever I needed it. At least that's what I thought he was doing. Yesterday would have been me and Cassie's 6th anniversary and it was really rough for me, so I told Ryan I didn't want to be alone and wanted to hang out and game all day with him. He agreed and everything, but he was kind of distracted on his phone a lot, and after a couple hours he said something came up and just left me there alone. It got dark. I'm not ashamed to say I cried. There were reasons I didn't want to be alone that day. Almost midnight last night, Ryan finally came home and was acting weird, so I asked what was up. I thought maybe his mum was sick or something. She's a teacher at a school that just reopened. But no, Ryan sits me down and tells me he's moving out. He's been secretly dating Cassie since a few weeks after we split. He says they're in love already and that she needs him more than I do, so he's moving into the apartment with her and leaving me here alone to rot. I don't even know how the fuck to process this. I don't know which one of them has broken me more. To make things worse, I messaged some of our other friends this morning to tell them what's up and they already knew. When I got upset, they all said it was no big deal because I'm the one who broke up with Cassie. Where do I even go from here? I can't talk to my friends. My ex broke my heart. My best friend stomped on it, and the closest thing I have to family is gone because they were his family too. I'm lost and don't know where else to turn. Update. Bigger shit to worry about than my broken heart, I guess. Ryan texted me. I'm about to be homeless in a pandemic. Update. I kind of debated if I'd post an update on this or not. It's been a few weeks and some stuff has happened, but as the post blew up, I got a good number of really summy comments that informed me I was a worthless piece of poop, that I should beat up my ex-girlfriend, or alternately that I was probably already some kind of horrible abuser who hated her and wanted to control her body. I also got a ton of love, support, PMs offering connections on housing, and more, but being I was already in a dark and desperate place, those other comments really twisted the knife. I had to spend some time away not just fixing my stuff, but also avoiding that stuff, because it was really not making me want to move forward. For anyone who's reading this while in the middle of a situation, wondering if you should post your story, my advice is, don't. Wait till you have some distance, or it's just going to make things worse. One thing I want to clarify here, since a few people swung for the fences based on what I posted, I don't hate Cassie. I don't think she shouldn't move on. I don't blame her for dating someone else after I broke up with her. I do have a lot of anger still thinking about this. All that anger is at Ryan. That's it. Ryan is the one who lied to me and went behind my back, not Cassie. My post pretty clearly stated that I think Cassie is an awesome human being. Still think so. Period. We just wanted different things. So, actual updates. Shortly after I posted, Ryan texted me to say that he'd planned to give me a month to find somewhere else to live, but since I couldn't be happy for them, he wanted me out by Friday. Looking back on it, I kinda think this was his plan all along. Cassie's parents owned the apartment I lived in with her, so we paid bills on it but no rent. Ryan's apartment was expensive and his parents still paid some of his bills there, so I suspect he was looking for an excuse to break his lease and get in on that free rent instead. But I have a place to live now. Reddit helped me out after all, in a weird way. A couple days after I posted, This guy TJ hit me up on FB Hey TJ with the link to my post asking if it was me. TJ and I weren't close friends before all this, but he recognized some of the details. Skipping some back and forth, it turns out Ryan lied to all our mutual friends about the situation. Apparently he hooked up with Cassie the first time about a week after we split up. He asked some of our friends what to do and they all told him to make sure I was cool first thing. He then told them he had talked to me and that I was happy for him. So when I started freaking out a couple months later, my friends all thought I was going crazy out of nowhere over something I'd known about for months. Once they found out what really happened, I got a lot of apology texts. Some of them I've accepted, some are still on read. A couple of guys offered me crash space or help moving, and I wound up staying with TJ, but only till I could find somewhere else. My days of living in places without my name on a lease are over. Learned my lesson there. I found a roommate looking for a place through Craigslist and we signed the lease last week. Moving from TJ's happens this weekend. Ryan is blocked out of my life. I probably forgot some of my stuff at either his place or Cassie's, but it's whatever. I can get new stuff. I can get new friends. More than anything else, this situation made me realize the importance of having stable, independent housing and not counting on anyone else to do the right thing by me. I have to have my own back in life, not rely on others. That's about all I've got. It's nothing dramatic, I guess. No one was hit by a car, got pregnant, or turned out to be cheating. But I've never been so glad to have a roof over my head and a bed to come back to. I'm going to keep going from here, keep working on life, and I'm sure as hell going to be taking a break on the dating front. That's all there is to do.